My name is Jourdan Mitchell, and this is my story.
So I have the unheard of athlete.
Jourdan Mitchell.
So Jordan, what did you exactly write on this board, and can you explain what you wrote?
All right, so obviously my name, Jourdan Mitchell, and I am. When I saw the words I am, I automatically started thinking of single words, like just to describe myself, and I think I just came up with dreamer. I've always been a dreamer. Um, Even when people told me my dreams wouldn't amount to something, I think just the negativity kept fueling me, and that's what forced me to keep going. And then my message is, my journey is different. Usually, I compare myself to a lot of people, and although sometimes that can be good, it can also be bad because I start to contradict what I can bring to the table, and I start having conflicts with myself and my confidence. So, yeah, my journey is different, and I've learned that it's not going to be the same as everybody else's, and that's what makes me different.
Jordan Mitchell,
Yes.
where are you from?
I am from Queens, New York. When I was in fourth or fifth grade, I wound up moving to Long Island because my dad said he wanted something different for us, and from then on, that's a state.
So growing up in Queens, well, really Long Island, New York City, how has your environment shaped your love for basketball?
I've always been an outdoors kid. Even when living in Queens at such a young age, I never wanted to be inside or draw in books or play video games. I've always fallen in love with, think, just being active. So when moving to Long Island, I was introduced with different different scenarios where I was able to put myself in activities and fitness in general. I've always been a bigger kid, so my parents definitely did I guess advise me to become active a lot more. So I started with soccer. Um, my dream was to play soccer originally, and then as I kept growing and getting bigger, they was just like, yeah, soccer is not it. Then we said football, and I fell in love with basketball because it was the only sport I knew where everybody can contribute towards the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Football, you usually have the running back, the quarterback throwing to the running back or receiver, they're scoring touchdowns. The old linemen, they don't get love. And, in soccer, you usually have the forwards, the strikers scoring goals. But in basketball, you can be a 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1, and everybody can put something and add to the board.
I didn't know you played all those other sports. I didn't even know you knew that much about it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I played almost every sport known in the book. I played lacrosse. I was all conference my senior year. Played football. I was a three-year varsity player for them, 3-year varsity player for lacrosse, and I was a 3-year varsity player for basketball as well.
Wow. I didn't even know that. How did playing basketball in high school shape you as both a player and a person, and all the other sports included?
Um, Dang, I forgot track as well. Oh my gosh, I did track and field as well. But I think playing all those other sports, my football coach really advised me to not just stay focused on one sport, because if you play multiple other sports, it can actually add to what you can bring to the table in that one main sport. So I think it did a lot of wonders for me. Track helped me with my athleticism. Football helped me with my physicality, and lacrosse, it got the best of both worlds, which was physicality and athleticism all together. And then as soon as it added to basketball, I started to see a lot of different parts of my game start to grow.
New York City has a strong basketball culture. How did that competition prepare you for higher levels?
It's a really good question. Uh, yeah, New York is different. The culture over there is a lot more aggressive. And with that aggression, I also found peace, I guess you could say. Is weird. Hearing certain people chirping in your ear, telling you can't do something, or trying to put you down while on the court, trying to get in your head. I think that's kind of what makes a player, because once you start getting to different states and different countries, eventually you start to realize that I guess New York culture was like the best culture to get around, especially when it came to pushing your game to a different level.
New York City, I clearly played in New York, and then playing in Florida, I see the difference between the crowd, the environment.
Yes.
New York City is really, really intense
Very,
with basketball.
very intense. I was never I never really got to play in the city, But from what I saw, being on the sidelines, going to certain games, it was just like, yo, like I'm not gonna lie. Even my brother said it. Like you have to be, your character has to be really strong. Your mindset has
Yeah.
to be really strong in order to continue to play on the court with four other people. There's no helmet covering your face. There's no big jersey covering your back. Like people can see your skin, they can see your flesh, they can see your emotions on the court. So if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen.
So you didn't play at the collegiate varsity level. What factors went into that decision?
Um, my parents, even though they encouraged me to play and stay fit and not get fat, I guess, well, fatter, because I'm not gonna lie, I was a big kid. They weren't really focused on athletics. They never really, I don't want to say saw the point in it, but they definitely preached education a lot more because when all athletics is all said and done, your education still stands.
Yeah.
So I didn't play AAU. I was only a high school player, and glory to God, I made the team every year. So I think that was a blessing. I think His favor really showed for me there. But I really had to do a lot of the, I guess, talking to coaches and the recruitment myself. Barry sent me a camp invite, and from that camp invite, I saw it as a blessing, and I told my dad, I said, my original plan wasn't to go out of state. I just wanted to go where they was going to give me the most money, and glory to God, once again, Barry gave me enough money for education. They gave me almost a partial half scholarship. So with that, my dad, my parents, we all made the decision. We said, hey, I get to still play at the somewhat collegiate level and still grow my game and get the best of both worlds. Being in Florida, I got to mature a lot faster, and being out here by myself has really taught me a lot.
Since playing JV, where do you see improvement? Making like better reads, initiating contact, or like your jump shot?
Um, I think throughout the 4 years of being here, being on the team has taught me a lot. I've gotten to learn from different players, and what I've also started to, I guess, preach to the younger players on the team now is I was that guy in high school where the coach wanted the ball in my hand. He knew I could get a bucket at any given moment. And once you're on the team with everybody that's a player, that was a player on the team where the coach wanted the ball in their hands, you have to find your role. And I think that's what I had a hard time, I guess, like grasping the concept of. And once I realized that my role was different, it wasn't going to be, oh, you're going to be the guy on the team from now on. It's going to be, hey, you got to get a rebound here, you got to run and hustle there, you got to make the pass, get the ball to where it needs to be right there. So I think the best part of my game that's really grown is my physicality. I've always been a physical guy, being bigger, but when it came to, I guess, playing collegiate ball once again, I think my first game I had to guard a 7-footer. Yeah, being 6'1", freshman, and the 5 at that point, it was like, Coach, I'm not gonna lie, you kind of setting me up for failure, but I took on the task. But as soon as I got in the game, being 6 men off the bench, fast break, I got a bounce pass, and I got I got it muffed, easy. And I was just like, yo, like there's levels,
Yeah.
levels to this. So knowing where I need to be, like on the court, and not just always having the ball in my hand, being able to make a backdoor cut, screen away, it's really grown my game a lot. My IQ has definitely grown. I've gotten to learn from certain players like my teammate Samaje. He's seen the game a lot more. He's kind of older, so he's been able to teach me a lot more. And then my coach himself, he played overseas, so he's been teaching me certain things. And just adding little parts of people's games to my IQ and my game is just showing me a lot.
So when you decided to come here, and you just said you were the sixth man off the bench, how was that transition mentally from being that guy in high school to being a sixth man on the bench?
I humbled myself. I talked to my parents, I talked to my siblings. I really take their advice to heart. So expressing how I felt about, dang, I've always been a starter. Like, coaches always wanted the ball in my hand. Now I'm coming off the bench. Like, this is weird. Especially because now my game, the flow of it, I might be cold coming into the game. And if I mess up, I start to overthink, and then I get taken out the game. It did play a big role in my confidence, especially because having certain other teammates on the team that, sometimes would shoot you down. Because, you're going to find toxic teammates everywhere, but, you just have to have a strong mentality to continue to get over those road bumps. But
Yeah.
it definitely did take a toll on me my freshman year, and my sophomore year wasn't any better. And I finally realized I have to start playing for me. I have to stop letting the naysayers, everybody on the team that wasn't, I guess, giving me the positive vibes. I have to stop letting it get to me. So yeah, from that I was just like, humble yourself. A lot of people don't even get the chance to play college ball. Like I think it's like 3% to go to college, and then 1% for the NBA. So it was like, yo, I'm part of that 3% because some other schools
Yeah.
don't even have a club team. So it's just like, dang, bro, you gotta take everything as a blessing because it could be different. I couldn't even be walking right now. I could be in a wheelchair, and I know it sounds like crazy to even think of, but some people went from going to college, well, going from high school to college, and now they can't even play college. So it's just
Yeah.
like, you got to take everything as a blessing.
Exactly. Yeah. So like, how was training for basketball, or even like just fitness? Like, how has that been?
It's been a journey. It's been beautiful actually. I think every year I've gotten to get better physically, fitness wise, athletically, and I've been able to even teach like certain concepts to teammates and to people outside of basketball too. I think fitness in general has been a big part of my life, especially being a bigger kid, and now being able to give advice to other bigger kids, other bigger adults. Actually, at this point, I think when it comes to basketball, though, it has made me stand out.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, now I even told you before this, people still ask me like, "What sport do I play?" And now when I tell them I play basketball, they just look at me like, "Yeah, you're in the wrong sport." But I take it as a compliment because I've put in hours, I put in pain. I've done what I needed to do in the gym, and even though I'm still not where I want to be, I still look at it as a blessing because I'm better than where I was. Like I said, I think it's a blessing being able to share what I've learned for myself to other people, to other athletes, and just encourage them to keep going. Even now, I'm still doing the same thing for myself.
So how often do you train in the gym? What is your routine consist of, and what do you like really focus on?
Okay, so for me personally, I still have a lot of parts of my game where I need to grow. So when I get in the gym, I get in, start off with form shooting, focusing on making sure the ball doesn't touch the rim or just all net from the corner, kind of the wing area, front of the rim, wing area, corner again. And then I go from same spots to the mid range, making sure my mid range is good, and I back up to the three. I try to get like 10 shots from each spot.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I work on handling, and if somebody else is in the gym, I ask them to help me do ones. I've also learned from Kevin Durant. I guess training is all good, but that training doesn't really mean anything unless you're able to put it to use against someone. So I'm really starting to focus more on being able to apply what I'm doing by myself and implementing it to my, I guess, 5v5s, 4v4s, 3v3s, all that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when it comes to the gym, my split is, it's kind of weird, but I think it works for me. It always works for me. It's just Mondays chest, Tuesdays core, Wednesdays back, Thursdays arms, and then Fridays is legs. But instead of doing a lot of weight, since I am an athlete still, I focus more on plyometrics, just working on my athleticism. And if I can incorporate weights into it, obviously that's the best thing. But yeah, that's just my split, and I've seen the biggest results from it. And even now, my coach, in the beginning of the season, he told me, I've seen you grow from a freshman to a senior now. I've seen the changes of your body, and I want you to start helping the other, I guess, younger teammates do the same, like get in the gym. So I mean, even now, what I'm doing for myself, I'm able to show it and give it to other athletes. I think it's a big blessing.
It
I
is,
always
yeah.
think everything is a
Yeah.
blessing, especially because I'm able to help somebody else out.
Yeah. So outside of being a student athlete, you have your own entrepreneur business. You're a barber.
Yes.
So how did you become a barber, and how long have you been cutting hair?
Um, so I've been cutting hair since 2022, which is before the summer before coming into my freshman year. I started cutting them myself, just shape ups, um, ball fades, and I think my dad. I've always wanted to cut hair. I was just scared of messing somebody up because I know how it is for me personally. when I got my hair messed up, I used to cry. I used to tell my dad, Dad, we still gotta pay for this? He's like, yes, son, we have to pay for it. And I was just like, that's not fair. But yeah, once I really realized I have to put myself in the fire in order to realize I'm gonna get burned, you know, that's what I had to do. So I started cutting on myself. Once I realized, you know, I'm not that bad, you know, I could start advertising. Um, Coming into my freshman year, I started cutting my hair in the bathroom, lining myself up in the bathroom. And since it was a communal bathroom, you have access
Oh,
of,
Weber?
yeah, no, Dunstable.
Oh.
There was access of people going in and out, in and out. So I was just like, you know, this is a perfect way for people to see, like, you know, I could,
Yeah.
I could
Yeah,
wind
come
up
up.
seeing what he can do. So, you know, there was some people, you know, just like, you know, I'm gonna stay far from him. I don't want anybody who's not like certified touching my head. And I was just like, you know, that's perfectly fine. But you also have to know, like, you have to put yourself out there, you know, to get rejected. So
Yeah.
once that happened, you know, you had people who started trusting me. My teammate, Mael, he definitely was a blessing too. He, looking back on the cuts now, I'm just like, yo, bro, like, you allowed me to touch your hair. It's crazy. But yeah, once I started doing that for my teammate, I went back for winter break. I started cutting some of my friends, cut my brother, and you know, with practice, everything's gonna get better.
Yeah.
So eventually, I just kept working at it, and now I like to think I am successful, even though there's still areas where I need to grow, and I've always think I'm a student of the game. I'm just gonna continue to grow, but I've definitely seen the progress, and it's made a difference in my family's pockets, my mother and my father's. Coming to Florida, you know, it's a big change coming from New York, 1,000+ miles away, no family out here, no access to a car. So, you know, getting groceries and like little things where you need just pick me ups for yourself. It's been a blessing because I don't have to call on my parents. Can you send me $20, $50? You know, I'm able to make a living, somewhat of a living for myself being a college student.
So back to being a student athlete, what made you choose sports exercise science as your major?
I tore my meniscus my junior year in high school playing football. It was during COVID, so the football season was actually pushed towards the spring. And I guess from that, I realized, you know, I care about the body. I care about how it works. And when I decided my senior year, I was just like, you know what, like, let me see if I could become a physical therapist, make a lot of money. Athletic training makes a lot of money, and even though the money's
Yeah.
great, I'm still learning. I'm doing something I would love. But even before that, I think I've always like enjoyed the anatomy, just seeing how certain things come together and work to form like I guess a bigger project has always been like, I guess, intriguing toward, like I was always intrigued towards it. But I realized coming into college, you know, one, college is not for the weak. I don't like look at people any type of way if they decide not to go to college now. Before I was just like, you know, education is something you need. No one can ever take it away from you. But now looking at it, I'm like, hey, you can get educated in so many other ways. You don't have to come to
Yeah.
college. But yeah, I realized schooling itself is a lot. Money is a lot too, especially being away from home. So I was just like, you know, let me see if I can go a different route and, you know, get the most out of the education and do something I love. So once I got to my freshman year, they had put me in nursing. I didn't know they put me in nursing. So, you know, they was just like, yeah, your GPA is fine. You know, you just have to meet these requirements to get into the nursing program. And I was just like, what do you mean nursing? They was just like, you wanted to be a nurse? I was like, I never said that. Take me off that list. Put me in something else. Anything else but nursing. Because I already see how it was for the other students during finals weeks. They were going through it. I was just like, that's me personally. I've always liked school, but I'm not going to put myself through hell
Yeah, nah.
for that. So yeah, I picked up sports exercise science, and I realized, I was like, yo, like, this is pretty cool. Like, I'm still getting the anatomy part. I'm still being able to help athletes at the same time. And then once they gave me the specialization of coaching, I was just like, yo, like, I love fitness. I love being around the athletes. I am an athlete. The things I'm picking up for them is not only beneficial for them, it's beneficial for myself as well.
Yep.
So once I realized there was another way around athletic training and the schooling and the physical therapy and the schooling, I was just like, yo, bro, like, do it. So now I'm in sports exercise sciences with a specialization in coaching, graduating in May. And Yeah, I told my parents I was 4 years. All I need is 4 years. You give me 4 years, I'm gonna do the rest. Don't worry about it, because some people, they have they've given the 4 years, but sometimes money is not right,
Yeah.
and I have to do another semester, after that another semester. So I was just like, if my parents are giving me the opportunity to go away to school, uh, get a different lifestyle, and they're not taking out loans, and I don't have to like be in debt. I was just like, I have to make the most of it. So, yeah, I did that, and yeah, we're just waiting for May now. Getting through the rest of the semester, and I thank God every day.
Yeah. That's great, Jordan.
Yeah.
By the way, Jordan is my coach sometimes
Yes.
when he wants to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess when I want to be. I guess when I want to be. Busy schedule. In an internship now. I did intern in the strength and conditioning room here at Barry. I was able to work with a lot of athletes, the women's basketball team, men's basketball team. Sometimes, sorry, I have to add sometimes. Men's basketball team, the softball team, volleyball, baseball. Yeah, I basically worked with all the teams, picking up on certain workouts. For them specifically, their workouts are different. They're different sports, so
Yeah.
they hit different muscles. You know, certain workouts have to contrast with other workouts, for them to perform in their games the best way they can. So I've picked up a lot in these last couple months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yes.
Period.
Can't wait to put it to use.
How does basketball, barbering, and trading all connect in your life right now?
That's a good question. That's loaded, actually. How do can you repeat that again? Sorry.
How does basketball, barbering, and athletic training all connect in your life right now? Like right now.
Right now, it's shown me there. I guess you could say it's shown me there's other ways to, I guess, make it to your plan A. My plan A is to continue to still play basketball and to make a living off of it professionally, eventually overseas. Whatever happens after that, I'm not going to say too much. I'm going to leave it in God's hands. But it's shown me that, with barbering, it's shown me I have to put myself out there.
Yeah.
I'm going to get rejected. People are not going to like what I do. They're not going to be the biggest fan. But as long as I put myself out there, it's gonna, I'm gonna be able to reap something from it. With fitness and coaching, it's also shown me I have to put myself out there, and just take what I've learned and what's been beneficial for me and try to help out everybody else. Same thing with barbering. If I have something where I'm able to put a smile on somebody's face, I think that is, for me, that's my goal in life. Being able to make the other people around me smile through my actions, whether it's God working through me or me using my hands to, I guess, perfect somebody's looks, physically, or I guess appearance-wise, doesn't matter. And then basketball, it's been one of the only things that I think that has never let me down, even though there's ups and downs. There's moments where you're like, I don't see like this really panning out for me. It's the only thing that I know that, has always been there. If I'm, feeling down, I could go to the gym, get shots up. And yeah, I always try to put in my head like this: the ball is the only thing that can, bounce and come back to you. Everything else, if it bounces, it can roll away. You might not never see it again. But basketball, it's always been there, and I really think it's a blessing. I thank God every day that I'm able to use the abilities He's given me and the abilities I've been able to, I guess, work on to get better. I take it as a blessing, for real.
Aw, that's great.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you give to freshman Jordan coming into college?
Oh, I love that question. I love that question. What advice?
Yeah.
I'm getting emotional, not gonna lie. That's
Aw.
crazy. What advice would I give freshman Jordan?
You good, little bro?
Chill out. What advice would I give little Jordan? Hey man, just trust God's plan. even though it may be stagnant right now and things might not be going the way you intended, God's hand is at work, and his plan is always going to be bigger than what you ever dreamt of. And his ways are not our ways, and his ways are bigger than our ways. So continue to keep your head down, continue to work, and continue to be yourself, regardless of what anybody says. Stay confident. If you came in confident, remain that way. And my dad has always said, you know, coming to the camp, I think one of the first things I've ever, I guess, received from my father when it came to like athletics wise was, yo, make them remember your name.
Yeah.
Regardless where you're going, obviously in a positive way, not a negative way, but
Yeah.
make sure they remember your name. Whatever you're doing, make an impact where people could be like, yo, like this kid was different here. This kid was different there. Like he's nothing I've ever seen before. So definitely make sure they remember your name. Damn. Yo, that's a loaded. Yo, why
You
would
almost
you?
made me cry.
Why would you say that? Like, I just in my head, I started to think of me coming here. Like the first day, we was in the hotel. My mom was just like, "Jordan, you don't want to get set up, like your room." I was like, "No, mom, I want to go to the gym. I want to see what the gym is like. I want to see who's around there." Oh my gosh, like that. I think that's like a core memory for me. Like we went to Red Lobster. My friend Scotty was just like, "Yo, bro, like, come on, we'll go to the gym. We're gonna get shots up." I was just like, "Mom, drop everything. I'm going back to school." It was just like, bro, like we just got here. Relax. I was just like, "Nah, Mom, I have to make sure they remember my name. I have to do something where people was like, yo, this kid is gonna be something." So
Yeah.
that was a very good question.
You almost made me cry.
I almost cried. Shoot,
Oh my God, you really almost made me cry, Jordan.
you almost
Like
made me
words.
cry.
You
Yo,
almost made me cry.
like, because once you asked that question, I automatically thought of the picture that was taken of me right there, my freshman year. I think
In the camp?
not the camp. It was the club tryout. What's it called? One of the photographers. He was new. He was just trying to get his name out there, but he was sitting in the bleachers, and he had seen me dunk the ball. He was like, "Yo, get him! I'm gonna get an action shot of him dunking the ball." And I was just like, dang, like. There's other people in this gym that dunk the ball, can jump higher than me, but you want to take a picture of me. It was just like, I probably did something where he was able to be like, yo, bro, like, you know, he might make it, or, you know, he's standing out for me. So once you did that, once you said that, I was automatically thinking of that. And looking back at it now, I'm just like, little Jordan did not ever picture anything happening in like the next 4 years. He wouldn't have imagined anything that's happening to him. So it was definitely a surreal moment. Everything started flashing. I got flashbacks of almost every semester since you asked that.
Wow.
It's a good question.
Okay.
I'm gonna cry tonight. I know I am.
Oh,
I know I am.
I'm sorry.
No, being able to express your emotions is a beautiful thing. So
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Jordan, for this interview with Baller Story. I wish you the best with your entire career, athletically, academically. I know you're about to graduate. I can't wait for that.
appreciate you.
Thank you.